Now, my life, pretty much all of it. I'm a mathematician and a priest, and I got all my degrees except for theology in Hoboken, in the square mile. Went from the kindergarten to a PhD. One of the few people
Grammar
to do
school,
that.
high school, college, graduate school,
And and your father and I, or Jerry and I, are very close, and it's been a great life. And your grandfather Phil, unfortunately, you didn't meet him, because I think that you would have really been a very positive influence on him. But your grandmother, as you know, loved you very much, probably loved you more than she loved us. I'm saying that tongue in cheek, but if you remember at the homily at her Mass, I alluded to that. But Grandma was a character too, and she taught us something about math by playing numbers. She loved numbers, and she was great. I remember a story once. I picked up Grandma in Hoboken. I was going to take her to St. Benedict's in Newark, and I had to go over the Pulaski Skyway. Well, there was a tractor trailer in front of us, and on the back of the bus, on the back of the trailer, was the number 597. And my mother said, "Gabe, look, that's your ordination date." And I'm thinking, gee, is she losing it? I said, "Mom, what do you mean it's my ordination date? I was ordained in May of 79. It's 579. She said, "That's 597. You're a mathematician and you don't know what a box is? That's a box. It's a different combination." So that was my mom. And she was a character. And anyway, somehow or other, oh, by the way, Grandpa Phil, he was very good in math as well. In fact, he learned that working at his father and mother's store, where they didn't have adding machines, and he had to write down on the paper bag what the prices were, and he added up. In fact, I worked there as well. I don't know if your father worked there.
Briefly, yeah.
Briefly. Well, anyway, Grandma introduced me, along with Aunt Elizabeth, they introduced me to gambling. And believe it or not, I didn't like it until I got there. And in addition to the cocktail waitresses, I said, this is not a bad place to be. So, and because I'm a mathematician, I've decided to, maybe I can apply this. And I'll tell you a true story. I was at a casino. It was in Pennsylvania. I was there alone this time. And I get a telephone call from the Archdiocese. And the woman who called was Roseanne, who had been a parishioner of mine in my first parish, St. Francis Xavier. And Roseanne said, "Father, the Archbishop wants to talk to you." And I was at the casino. So I said to Roseanne, "I tell you what, Roseanne, can I call you back in 2 minutes?" Because I didn't think it would be nice with the machines going and this and that going on and on. So she said, "Sure, Father, no problem." So I go outside. I said, "Hello, Archbishop." "Yes, Father, I'm sorry to bother you." I said, No. He said, "What were you doing?" I says, "Well, you know, I'm a mathematician. I was at a professional exercise. I was at a probability seminar." And he said, "Oh, it's very good of you, very professional." And then after 3 seconds, I said, "Sometimes they call it a casino." Well, 3 seconds later, he just cracked up and roared and stuff. So anyway, but I think I'm partly responsible for your father getting involved in this.
Unfortunately,
so, by the way, we went yesterday and your father won $600.
So I came home with 600 more than I started, right?
600, so he did very, very well. And I know
And you
that
did
Phil
too.
likes to go every now and then.